Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj on August 25th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangong Langayate Girim Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, today we will continue with the compilation of Sri Krishna Chaitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Neglecting the Blasphemy of the Varanasi Mayavadis. Lord Chaitanya proceeds to Mathura. Under the section, the Lord travels to Vrindavan. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 740.
Vrindavan gaite Prabhu hila kashite Mayavadi gandhare lagila nindite.
While Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was passing through Varanasi, on his way to Vrindavan, the Mayavadi sannyasi philosophers blasphemed against him in many ways. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. While preaching Krishna consciousness with full vigor, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu faced many Mayavadi philosophers. Similarly, we are also facing opposing swamis, yogis, impersonalists, scientists, philosophers, and other mental speculators. And by the grace of Lord Krishna, we successfully defeat all of them without difficulty.
By the divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada
By preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
was preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
all over the world.
all over the world.
He has faced many obstacles from the above-mentioned persons,
He faced many obstacles from the above mentioned persons,
but he was not stopped in presenting Krishna consciousness.
but he was not stopped in presenting Krishna consciousness.
Similarly, his followers need to face up any kind of obstacle
Similarly, his followers needs to face up any kinds of obstacles
with proper enthusiasm and dedication
with proper enthusiasm and in dedication.
to spread the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
To spread the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. CC Adi 7.41.
মায়াবাদী গণে প্রভু নিন্দা সন্ন্যাসী হইয়া করেন গায়ন নাচ না করে বেদান্ত শ্রবণ করে সংকীর্তন.
The blasphemers said, although a sannyasi, he does not take interest in the study of Vedanta, but instead always engages in chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Fortunately or unfortunately, we also meet such Mayavadis who criticize our method of chanting and accuse us of not being interested in study. They do not know that we have translated volumes and volumes of books into English and that the students in our temples regularly study them in the morning, afternoon, and evening. We are writing and printing books, and our students study them and distribute them all over the world. No Mayavadi school can present as many books as we have. Nevertheless, they accuse us of not being fond of study. Such accusations are completely false. But although we study, we do not study the nonsense of Mayavadis. Mayavadi sannyasis neither chant or dance. The technical objection is that this method of chanting and dancing is called Turiyatrika, which indicates that a sannyasi should completely avoid such activities and engage his time in study of Vedanta. Actually, such men do not understand what is meant by Vedanta. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Krishna says, Vedesha sarvair ahameva vedyo Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. By all Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Lord Krishna is the actual compiler of Vedanta, and whatever he speaks is Vedanta philosophy. Although they are lacking the knowledge of Vedanta presented by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental form of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mayavadis are very proud of their study. Foreseeing the bad effects of their presenting Vedanta philosophy in a perverted way, Srila Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam as a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Srimad Bhagavatam is Bhashoyam Brahma Sutranam. In other words, all the Vedanta philosophy in aphorisms of the Brahma Sutra is thoroughly described in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thus, the factual propounder of Vedanta philosophy is a Krishna conscious person who always engages in reading and understanding the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and teaching the purport of these books to the entire world. The Mayavadis are very proud of having monopolized the Vedanta philosophy, but devotees have their own commentaries on Vedanta, such as Bhagavatam and others written by the Acharyas. The commentary of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas is the Govinda Bhashya. The Mayavadi accusation that the devotees do not study Vedanta is false. The Mayavadis do not know that chanting and dancing and preaching, the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam called Bhagavata Dharma, are the same as studying Vedanta. Since they think that reading Vedanta philosophy is the only function of a sannyasi, and they did not find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged in such direct study, they criticized the Lord. Sripad Shankaracharya has given special stress on the study of Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta Vakyeshu Sada Ramanta Kaupinavanta Kalu Bhagyavantaha. A sannyasi accepting the renounced order very strictly and wearing nothing more than a lion cloth should always enjoy the philosophical statements in the Vedanta Sutra. Such a person in the renounced order is to be considered very fortunate. The Mayavadis in Varanasi blasphemed Lord Chaitanya because his behavior did not follow these principles. Lord Chaitanya, however, bestowed his mercy upon the Mayavadi sannyasis and delivered them by means of his Vedanta discourses with Prakashananda Saraswati and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
My grace to the A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada,
encouraged that devotees should study Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam.
encouraged that the devotees should study Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam
And the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
and the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
To this end, he has established study courses and degrees
For them, he established study courses and degrees
on Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, and Bhakti Sarvabhauma.
called Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, and Bhakti Sarvabhauma.
The devotees are recommended to study very diligently the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita.
So the devotees are recommended to study very diligently the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita.
In this way, the science of Vedanta will be understood.
In this way, the science of Vedanta would be understood. C.C. Adi 742.
মূর্খ সন্ন্যাসী নিজ ধর্ম নাহি জানে ভাবুক হইয়া ফেরে ভাবুকের সনে
This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an illiterate sannyasi and therefore he does not know his real function. Guided only by his sentiments, he wanders about in the company of other sentimentalists. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Foolish Mayavadis, not knowing that the Krishna consciousness movement is based on a solid philosophy of transcendental science, superficially conclude that those who dance and chant do not have philosophical knowledge. Those who are Krishna conscious actually have full knowledge of the essence of Vedanta's philosophy. For they study the real commentary on the Vedanta philosophy, Srimad Bhagavatam, and follow the actual words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as found in the Bhagavad Gita as it is. After understanding the Bhagavata philosophy or Bhagavata Dharma, they become fully spiritually conscious or Krishna conscious, and therefore their chanting and dancing is not material but is on the spiritual platform. Although everyone admires the ecstatic chanting and dancing of the devotees, who are therefore popularly known as the Hare Krishna people, Mayavadis cannot appreciate these activities because of their poor fund of knowledge.
The Mayavadis do not understand that Krishna is transcendental,
The Mayavadis did not understand that Krishna is transcendental,
that there is no difference in Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities.
There is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities,
and Krishna's topics.
and Krishna's topics.
By chanting, dancing, by chanting one feels transcendental bliss.
By chanting, one feels transcendental bliss.
And therefore one feels like dancing.
Therefore, one feels like dancing.
But they do not appreciate the transcendental quality of Krishna.
But they do not appreciate the transcendental quality of Krishna.
That's why they are impersonalists.
That's why they are impersonalists.
And their criticism is basically false and unfounded.
And their criticism is basically false and unfounded,
Unsubstantiated.
unsubstantiated. C.C. Adi 7.43.
সব শুনিয়া প্রভু হাসে মনে মনে উপেক্ষা করিয়া কারো না কইল সম্ভাষণে
Hearing all this blasphemy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu merely smiled to himself, rejected all these accusations, and did not talk with the Mayavadis. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As Krishna conscious devotees, we do not like to converse with Mayavadi philosophers simply to waste valuable time. But whenever there is an opportunity, we impress our philosophy upon them with great vigor and success.
The people who are contaminated by the Mayavadi impersonalist philosophy
The people who are contaminated by the Mayavadi impersonalistic philosophy,
somehow their intelligence is short-circuited.
somehow their intelligence is short-circuited.
I was telling one Mayavadi, the last verse in Krishna's in the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is.
So, I was telling one Mayavadi how the last verse in the Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter,
Brahmano Pratisaham,
Brahmanoho Pratishtaham,
he was shocked. He said, no, how can that be? My whole life I've been worshiping the impersonal truth.
I don't know how it can be. My whole life I've been worshipping the impersonal truth.
I had to think about this.
I have to think about this.
Next day I saw him, he was very happy.
Next day I saw him, he was very happy.
He said how he had talked to some Sanskrit professor in the local university.
He said how he has spoken to some of the Sanskrit professor in the local university.
And all that means that Krishna is the basis of the four-headed Lord Brahma.
Oh, he said that, that Krishna is the basis of the four-headed Brahma.
But actually, although the name is similar, but it's very clear that Krishna is saying he's the basis of the impersonal Brahman.
Although the name is similar, it is very clear that Krishna is saying that he is the basis of Brahman.
Anyway, Prabhupada said that such people
Anyway, Prabhupada said that such people
should be engaged in Krishna's service.
should be engaged in Krishna's service.
Maybe after studying Krishna a bit, purified and they will understand our philosophy.
Maybe after serving Krishna, he'll get purified and be able to understand our philosophy.
So he followed that policy, and eventually he said he understood our philosophy.
And he followed that policy and he said eventually he understood the philosophy. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, 19.95.
স্ত্রৈণ ও মদ্যপ নীতিপরায়ণের বিচারে নিকৃষ্ট হইল বৈষ্ণব বিদ্বেষী বেদান্তি অপেক্ষা ভগবানের অধিক কৃপাপাত্র। স্ত্রৈণ মদ্যপেরে প্রভু অনুগ্রহ করে নিন্দক বেদান্তি যদি তথাপি সংহারে।
Lord Chaitanya
Lord Chaitanya bestowed mercy on womanizers and drunkards, but he annihilates blasphemers even if they are well versed in Vedanta. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Ordinary people who are intoxicated by material enjoyment and who follow worldly morality give more respect to impersonalists than to drunkards and womanizers. But the supremely independent Lord, who is the most merciful to the living entities, does not approve their consideration, but which is born of external perception. Realizing that the conception of Vedantis who are averse to the Vaishnavas is completely opposed to devotional service, he refutes it. And he displays compassion on the weak, the womanizers and the drunkards according to their respective qualifications.
Basically, drunkards and womanizers are committing sinful acts,
Basically, the drunkards, womanizers, they are committing sinful acts,
but they can be easily delivered.
but they can be easily delivered.
But the impersonalist Mayavadis
But the impersonalist Mayavadis
are committing offense to Krishna.
are committing offense to Krishna.
And their aparad is more serious than sin.
So their aparadh is more serious than sin. C.B. Madhya 19.96.
সঙ্গের তারতম্য প্রদর্শন কল্পে দাড়ি সন্ন্যাসীকে গৌর সুন্দরের কৃপাপূর্বক মায়াবাদীর সঙ্গ বর্জন শিক্ষা প্রদান। সন্ন্যাসী হইয়া মদ্যপিয়ে স্ত্রী সঙ্গ আচারে তথাপি ঠাকুর গেল তাহার মন্দিরে।
Lord Chaitanya
Although the Dari sannyasi drank wine and intimately associated with women, the Lord Chaitanya visited his house. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. People who enjoy others' wives and drink wine are not accepted as pious in this world. No one goes to the house of a sinful person to associate with him. Shri Gaura Nityananda bestowed mercy on even these Dari sannyasis to reveal that in a comparison of various kinds of association, the association of Mayavadis is more abominable and undesirable than the association of drunkards. But they revealed that the association of the Mayavadi Vedantis of Kashi was even more undesirable. The licentious drunkards are only sinful, but the Mayavadis are envious of the Supreme Lord and His devotees. Therefore, they are eternally offenders. Sins are exhaustible, but imperishable sins like spiritual suicide resulting from offense do not allow one to give up his false identification. As a result of offenses, the eternal good fortune and supreme auspiciousness of living entities are destroyed forever. When piety is accumulated, sinful reactions are destroyed. But the result of offenses is more inauspicious than sin in all respects.
বাক্য বাক্য কইলা প্রভু শিকাইল ধর্ম বিশ্রাম করিয়া কইলা ভোজনের কর্ম.
In the course of their conversation, Lord Chaitanya taught him taught the Dari sannyasi religious principles. He took rest in his house and ate there.
He gave great mercy to this Dari sannyasi.
He gave great mercy to this Dari sannyasi.
At the end of the course, the Dari sannyasi invited him to stay for lunch. He would give him a fish.
At the end of course, the Dari sannyasi would invite him for lunch and would give him a fish to eat.
Then Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they said, "You eat fish," and they jumped into the Ganges with all their clothes off.
What was that, Guru Maharaj?
And they realized that the Dari sannyasi ate fish.
When they realized that the Dari sannyasi ate fish,
they jumped into the Ganges with all their clothes on.
They jumped into the Ganges with all their clothes on.
To purify themselves. But anyway, the point is that before that, they give so much mercy to the Dari sannyasi.
The point is that before that, they gave so much mercy to the Dari sannyasi. C.V. Madhya 19.98.
না হয় এই জন্মে ভালো হইব আর জন্ম সবে নিন্দকের নাহি বাসে ভালো মর্মে.
Even if the sannyasi could not attain perfection in this life, he would in the next. But the blasphemers will never achieve perfection.
So, one does sinful activities and take rebirth again.
If one does sinful activity, they have to take rebirth again.
They can eventually be delivered.
But they can be eventually delivered.
Someone is a blasphemer and offender of the Lord.
If someone is a blasphemer and offender of the Lord
and his
devotees,
they can never achieve perfection.
They can never achieve perfection. Thus ends the chapter entitled Neglecting the Blasphemy of the Varanasi Mayavadis. Lord Chaitanya proceeds to Mathura, Part 1. Under the section, the Lord travels to Vrindavan.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.